Have you ever looked up at the stars and wondered, how did all of this begin? Where did the earth come from? Why were we created? And if God knew everything, why did He give Adam and Eve the freedom to choose? The answers to these questions are found in the very first book of the Bible, Genesis. The Bible begins with these powerful words, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." Before there was light, before there were oceans, mountains, plants, animals, or people, there was God. He has always existed. By His power alone, He created everything that exists. At first, the earth was formless and empty. Darkness covered the deep waters, and the Spirit of God was hovering over them. Then God spoke His very first recorded words, "Let there be light." Instantly, light appeared. God separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day and the darkness night. This was the first day of creation. On the second day, God created the sky. He separated the waters above from the waters below, forming the vast heavens over the earth. The world was beginning to take shape according to His perfect plan. On the third day, God gathered the waters together so that dry land appeared. He called the dry land earth and the gathered waters seas. Then He filled the land with grass, flowers, plants, and fruit trees, each producing seeds according to its kind. The once empty earth became full of beauty, color, and life. On the fourth day, God created the sun to rule the day and the moon to rule the night. He also created the countless stars scattered across the heavens. These lights marked the seasons, days, and years, displaying God's wisdom and power throughout the universe. On the fifth day, God filled the seas with fish and every living creature. He filled the skies with birds of every kind. Then He blessed them and said, Be fruitful and multiply." Life spread across the waters and the skies, all according to God's command. On the sixth day, God created every kind of land animal, livestock, wild animals, and creatures that move along the ground. Finally came the greatest moment of creation. God said, Let us make mankind in our image according to our likeness." Unlike the animals, human beings were created in the image of God. This means we were created with the ability to think, love, create, communicate, and have a relationship with our Creator. Every human life has value because every person bears God's image. The Bible tells us that God formed the first man, Adam, from the dust of the ground. Then God breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and Adam became a living being. God planted a beautiful garden called Eden and placed Adam there to care for it. The Garden of Eden was filled with everything Adam needed. There was peace, joy, and perfect fellowship with God. But God saw that Adam was alone. He said, "It is not good for the man to be alone." So God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. From one of Adam's ribs, He created a woman and brought her to Adam. Adam joyfully said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." She was called Eve because she would become the mother of all living. Adam and Eve lived in perfect harmony with each other and with God. They walked with Him in the garden and enjoyed His presence without fear, shame, or suffering. In the middle of the garden stood two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam a simple command. He said, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will surely die." Why would God place that tree in the garden? The Bible shows that God gave humanity the freedom to choose. He did not force Adam and Eve to obey Him. They could choose to trust God or reject His command. Love and obedience have meaning when they are given freely, not by force. The story of creation reminds us that the universe is not presented in Genesis as an accident. According to the Bible, God created the world with purpose and intention. Every mountain, every ocean, every star, every flower, and every human life reflects His creative work. Genesis also teaches that every person has dignity because we are made in God's image. Our lives have meaning, and we were created to know God and care for His creation. This is only the beginning of the greatest story ever told. In the next chapter of Genesis, everything changes. A serpent enters the garden, temptation begins, and Adam and Eve face a choice that will affect all of humanity. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe for more Bible stories explained. Let us know in the comments, what is your favorite part of God's creation? Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.